and the omnibus. So I was forced into the Archers when I was a child. And look, it's come back to bite me later on. I'm awash with this stuff.
The Archers is the world's longest-running radio show, with more than 15,000 episodes broadcast. Despite being a rural flavor show, The Archers is recorded in the heart of...
Welcome back to The Deep Dive. Today, we're getting into some really complex source material. It feels intensely personal, but also, you know, has these wider community ripples.
Absolutely. We've got these two sort of parallel crises happening at the same time.
Yeah. On one hand, there's this just crushing, immediate chaos of sudden loss, and then running right alongside it, this desperate, almost explosive fight over past mistakes. Stuff that really should be history, but just won't stay buried.
It's a real study in contrast, isn't it? We're trying to piece together Esme's situation. First, the practical nightmare after her dad dies. Just the sheer volume of stuff she suddenly has to deal with.
While she's grieving.
Exactly. And then you shift focus, and we're dissecting this moral battlefield where George is fighting, frankly, a losing battle for forgiveness. The community's drawn a line.
Right. So our mission today is to synthesize all that, look at the specific arguments, the really heartbreaking details, the practical hurdles these characters are facing.
We need to understand not just what's happening, but maybe get a sense of why these two very different storms, one practical, one ethical, are hitting right now.
Okay, let's dive straight in then. Starting with Esme. She's, well, drowning in grief, but also just overwhelmed by the farm's demands.
Yeah, the sources really throw you into her headspace immediately. And the defining thing is this intense guilt. She feels like a liability.
She actually says it, doesn't she? Something like,
I really am. I'm currently just this massive burden to Brookfield. That quote just jumps out.
wow, that feeling of being a burden, it almost sounds more stressful than the grief itself in that moment. Like she should be handling it, but just can't.
And yet the community response, as the sources show, has been amazing. She acknowledges it, says everyone's been so generous and so kind.
She even suggests other neighbors might have just, left me to it. But, you know, kindness doesn't stop the cows needing milking.
Exactly. And the practical chaos hits immediately. She only found out her dad died on Wednesday. So the farm, it's still running, or trying to.
And that's where Josh comes in.
Right. We learn he's brought in to help because the family already helping out Josh's dad, specifically, is just stretched too thin.
His mom's worried.
Yeah, Josh's mom is really concerned the workload is too much for your dad, even though Pip, their daughter, had offered to look after their own cows to free him up.
So the community's juggling its own needs while trying to support Esme, and it's clearly not quite working. Hence Josh.
But here's where it gets almost surreal. It just shows how disconnected Esme is from her normal life. The farm needs clash violently with this forgotten obligation she has.
Oh, the business thing. Right.
Yeah, this commitment she totally forgot. Pip calls, leaves 4 messages, getting more and more frantic apparently, about a meeting with a bride-to-be.
Oh my God, so Esme's standing there, probably covered in mud, dealing with cows, and suddenly has to explain to a stranger she's trying to organize a funeral while planning their wedding.
Brutal, isn't it? That collision of like life and death logistics.
And this is where Josh really steps up, isn't it? This guy who's basically a stranger.
He becomes the anchor. Esme's clearly stalling. Knows she's late for this meeting. Josh sees what needs to happen. He doesn't just offer sympathy, he offers a solution. A practical one.
He basically just tells her to go.
Pretty much orders her. Just go, go now. And he promises he'll manage the rest. The milking, clearing the yard, all of it. Alone.
Even though Esme doubts one person can do it all.
Yeah, she's skeptical. But he just overrides her. It's not just being neighborly, it's like emergency intervention. He recognizes she's just not capable right then.
And then there's that interesting little comment he makes about her, that she wasn't what he expected.
Yeah, that little moment. He admits she was not what I was expecting. And when she asks why, he just says he thought she'd be.
Someone older.
Exactly. It's just a small, honest observation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cuts through the heaviness for a second, shows people are still, making these little judgments, even in a crisis.
Yeah, it kind of grounds her reality, maybe. She's not just the grieving daughter. She's still a person who looks younger than her tragedy.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it. It's a small but significant detail.
Okay, let's completely shift gears now. Because while Esme is dealing with this immediate practical chaos, which Josh can at least temporarily fix, George is facing something else entirely. Historical, ethical chaos. and it seems totally insurmountable.
Right. We move from the farmyard, muddy boots and all, straight into the pub, and the atmosphere there is just thick with old resentment.
George's looking for a job, trying to get back on his feet.
Yeah, desperate for some normality maybe. But Jolene has to give him the bad news. Straight up no. And the reason is kind of vague, but powerful. Objections from some of the team.
Ouch. And it gets worse, doesn't it? He doesn't just not get the job.
No. He tries to sort of save face, ask for your cheapest pint. Even admits he's low on funds, clearly struggling.
And Jolene
Delivers a knockout blow. I can't serve you in here anymore. He's not just been turned down for work, he's been barred. Publicly barred from the community hub.
Wow. And this is where he starts arguing his case for redemption.
Yeah, and his argument is fascinating because it's completely transactional. It's all about, I've paid my dues, he says he's done my time, said sorry, like the slate should be clean now.
He tries to cash in his good deeds, basically.
Exactly. He brings up two specific examples. Risking his life to save Fallon from the river.
Right.
And risking his life again, he claims, to protect Jolene and the pub from someone dangerous, someone like Mark.
Introducing the Archer's Mug, where elegance meets everyday comfort. Crafted from premium white ceramic, designed with vibrant peekaboo colors inside, simple, modern, and stylish. Start your day the Archer's way, with warmth, familiarity, and the comfort of voices you've come to love. As the stories unfold on the Archers, let this mug become part of your daily ritual, a small reminder of life in Ambridge. Practical for every home, dishwasher and microwave safe. Available in 2 sizes, 11 ounces and 15 ounces, designed to fit your lifestyle. Enjoy your favorite drink in a mug that connects you to Britain's most beloved countryside story, The Archers. For more information, and to order your very own The Archer's mug, follow the link below and make it part of your daily routine.
He's demanding these actions balance out the bad stuff.
But Jolene just shuts that down immediately.
Instantly. And brilliantly, actually. Regarding the river rescue, she points out the cold, hard truth. George caused the situation. He put Fallon's life in danger in the first place.
So you can't claim heroism for cleaning up your own mess.
Precisely. It shows the community isn't buying his narrative. They see through it.
His desperation here, though, it's palpable. He then tries to use his own suffering, right?
Yeah.
Talks about prison.
Yeah, he doubles down. Mentions someone trying to frame him in prison. Putting a knife in his cell. Says it would have added an extra month on my sentence.
He's essentially saying, look how much I suffered. Isn't that enough for you people?
It really forces that question, doesn't it? Is time served in prison ever enough to repair the emotional damage done to a whole community? For George, the answer seems to be yes. For Ambridge, clearly not.
And then we get the twist. It wasn't actually Jolene's final call.
No, that's crucial. We find out Lillian was the one who barred him. Jolene actually had apparently stuck up for you. A little moment of grace, maybe, but Lillian overruled her. Absolutely.
And Lillian's reason, that's the real core of it, isn't it?
That is the brick wall George hits. Lillian brings up the unforgivable debt. George nearly destroyed Alice's life.
But it's not just about Alice, is it? She takes it further.
Much further. She connects it to the next generation. Claims Alice was spiraling, drinking heavily because of you, and that she might have drunk herself to death.
Which would mean Martha, Alice's daughter,
Would have lost her mother because of George.
So this isn't just personal anymore. Lillian's defending the future of the community, in a way.
Exactly. It's moved beyond a personal grudge. She's highlighting the potential permanent collateral damage of his actions. And she says it straight out. I can't forgive you for that, George. I really can't.
Frankly, I can't even bear to look at you. Wow, that's the line in the sand.
His debt is framed as permanent, generational. Because he threatened a child's future, his mistake became a betrayal of the whole community's stability. You can't just do time for that, in her eyes.
And George's reaction to this final rejection, it's not good.
Pure escalation. He refuses to leave. Knocks something over, then demands dustpan and brush to clean it up. Tries to physically go behind the bar.
Like a complete meltdown, trying to force his way back in physically and metaphorically.
Yeah. And it only stops when Jolene threatens to call the police. In a heartbeat, she says. That's the only thing that makes him back down.
So he leaves with nothing. No job, no drink, and definitely no redemption. His whole transactional approach just failed completely.
Okay, so let's pull back from that moral firestorm and return to Esme. She's still grappling with the sheer stuff of loss.
Right. We check back in with her and Josh after the milking's done. And if the pub was a moral disaster zone, her house is described as a physical one.
Yeah, Josh sums it up pretty well. Quite chaotic.
And the source mentions newspapers.
Everywhere. The house is chocker with them. Every single room. Esme even realizes herself, she doesn't just need the recycling bin. She needs an industrial skip.
That's such a vivid image of, well, maybe neglect, but also just the overwhelming nature of suddenly having to deal with someone else's entire life packed into a house.
Exactly. It's the background noise to her grief. But the real logjam, the thing she just cannot get past right now, is planning the funeral.
She's never done it before.
Never. And she's instantly drowning in the practicalities, especially the money side. She immediately notes the cost differences. A funeral director is twice the price of doing it yourself, apparently. Burial is more than a cremation.
And she's looking at the cheapest options.
Right down to the wire. The sources mention her considering really cheap coffins, the kind that are not even wood, even burial in just a shroud, because that's really cheap.
God, making those kinds of cold financial calculations while you're grieving, that must be incredibly stressful. It just highlights how much administrative burden comes with death.
Totally. But the absolute #1 blocker right now isn't even the cost. It's information. Or the lack of it.
She doesn't know what her dad wanted.
Exactly. Because his computer is password protected. That's the vault. And she's locked out. Locked out of his emails, any messages, any potential instructions he left.
Oh, that modern nightmare. The digital legacy problem.
It is. A physical key might be hidden somewhere, but a digital key, if you don't know it, you're stuck. And she's tried everything you'd expect.
Like what?
The sources list them. His birthday, her mom's name, her mom's nickname, even her own nickname, Boo. And the dog's birthday.
And here's that tiny, almost absurdly frustrating detail.
That her nickname, Boo, is too short. It doesn't meet the password requirements.
All that personal connection, useless against an 8-character minimum. It's maddening.
It really is. Human connection blocked by digital security. It's just peak modern frustration.
And talking about the nickname, that's what triggers the big emotional release for her, isn't it?
It is. Josh asks about the nickname Boo, and it just opens a door in her memory. Not to the difficult man he might have become recently, but to someone else, she says.
He wasn't always grumpy. He could be gorgeous.
That little flicker of positive memory, it just breaks the dam. She starts crying. And the full weight of it hits her, that terrifying finality. She says, I'm never going to see him again.
All the logistics, the computer, the mess, it all just fades away in that moment, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's just the raw grief.
The finality of it.
Yeah.
That's the real pain underneath all the practical chaos. Hashtag tag outro.
So if we step back and look at the whole picture from the sources, we've got this really stark contrast, haven't we?
Definitely. On one side, you got Esme. She's facing huge problems. The milking, the house clearance, the funeral planning, that locked computer, but they feel maybe solvable. Painful, yes. But practical help, like Josh provides, can make a difference. There are steps she can take.
Whereas George, he's hit an absolute wall, a moral barrier. Lillian's stance, representing maybe a wider community view, has basically defined the limit of forgiveness.
Exactly. His past actions, particularly the threat to Alice and potentially Martha, have become this permanent generational debt in their eyes. No amount of time served or even later good deeds seems enough to erase it. His problem isn't logistical, it feels existential almost, unsolvable within that community context.
And the sources really hammer home that dual power of community, don't they? Josh's immediate, practical, selfless support is a lifeline for Esme.
But then you have Lillian's equally swift, equally absolute rejection of George, which isolates him completely. The community decides who gets support and who gets shut out. It's incredibly powerful.
And circling back to Esme's crisis for a moment, that locked computer, it holds everything. All his wishes, contacts, maybe financial details, all behind a password she can't guess.
Yeah, that point really stands out.
So it leaves us with a really important, maybe uncomfortable question for you, our listener, to think about right now. What practical steps should any of us be taking, like today, to make sure that our own critical information accounts, wishes, digital contacts, all the stuff locked behind our passwords is actually accessible, safely, legally accessible to the people we trust if the unexpected happens?
That's a really crucial takeaway. thinking about that digital legacy. Because as we see with Esme, not having that access turns an awful situation into a complete administrative nightmare on top of the grief.
Absolutely. Something to definitely mull over.
Well, thanks for diving deep with us on this one.
We'll catch you next time on the Deep Dive.
Just getting ready for the next episode. Just moving mics around.
So what do you do?
I do the spot effects on the archers. Any
Are you what we
movements
call Foley then?
kind of. Yep.
Okay. And these are all part of the paraphernalia of production.
Yep. That's the bull bar. That's,
This one.
yep. That's.
Haley so wanted to be in their own place when their baby came. It's due in 2 months. Not much chance of that now. No. I mean, it would have been a stretch for them financially, mind, but I just wish there was something practical I could do to help them, Caroline. I mean,
I think The Archers has had this immense popularity over the years, basically because it has always very accurately reflected the reality of life and living in a rural community at whatever